Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sick, and I am back for another Dragon Ball Sparking video for you today. This is going to be another DP tier list class video, and this is going to be on DP class 4. And DP class 4 has tons of usable characters. Really, DP class 4 might be some of the better characters in the game, and you can make straight off teams off of level 4 DP class characters. DP class 4 is really good, and to me these are the best DP class 4 characters in the game. Now I know some people like, oh, where's Teen Gohan or Adult Gohan and so on and so forth, Tapion and so on and so forth, but to me the reasons why those characters are good at the level 4 class, they're good picks, is because of their transformations and not solely on the character itself at that class. Now, Teen Gohan and Adult Gohan, they're pretty good picks. I'm not gonna lie, especially because they transformations. Teen Gohan, when he gets to Super Saiyan level 2, he has an unblockable super, and in some of his techniques, he get power to the very limit, so on and so forth. Same thing with Adult Gohan, when he turns Super Saiyan, he has a unblockable super as well, and kind of the same type of techniques as well. But the thing is, I'm just basing the character utility kit when they're at that level 4 spot, not when they 5 or 6 or 7, because of the transformations. That's a plus, and if you want to go those characters because of that, then so be it. But remember, in this game, when you transform, it resets your timer to switch out characters. So now, let's just say you're in a fight and you getting beat up, and you transform to get a stronger version of that character, but you're facing a really good opponent and y'all still about even or whatever like that, you can't swap out until the time limit after that transformation ends. So example, level 4 DP class, it takes 15 seconds until you're able to tag out, but now you transform, now that 15 seconds restarts, and now you're locked into that match for another 15 seconds until you're able to tag out. And who knows what can happen at that time period. You could die, so that transformation just went to waste. So to me, I'm basing off of what the characters have at that utility spot at that level 4 DP class. That's how I'm basing off of. But I will give you some other level 4 picks besides these ones. I'm not going to go into full detail, but I will show you some other picks. So, obviously, I talked about Teen Gohan. Teen Gohan at the level 4 DP class is a good pick. He has Wild Sense, full power charge, which is really good. And then he has the ability to turn into Super Saiyan 2, which is what you want to get into with him, because he has a power to the very limit, where you get instant sparking, explosive wave, and one of the strongest ultimates in the game, and it's unblockable. Now, Adult Gohan, same thing. He has the same thing as Teen Gohan, which is really good with the Wild Sense and the full power charge, and he has an actual rush attack, which is really good. So you might want to go with Adult Gohan and over Teen Gohan because of that. And he has an unblockable at Super Saiyan 1. So if you want to utilize unblockable ultimate, you don't have to use 2 to 3 skill points to do so. You could just be Super Saiyan 1 and get the unblockable, where Super Saiyan with Teen Gohan, you have to wait until Super Saiyan 2. So yeah. Tien is pretty good as a level 4 pick. He's solid. He has 2 bar key attacks, supers, which is really good. Instead of having 3, he has 2 bars. So if you want to play the spam and key the supers type of game, you could use Tien. And he has Solar Flare and Wild Sense, which is really good. Another level 4 will be Oob. Oob is pretty good as well. He has the instant sparking, he has a Wild Sense, he has a rush attack, he has a beam, and he has super explosive wave, and he has a possibility to get stronger. And Majub is really good. He has 2 unblockables, the paralyzed beam and the Mystic Breath unblockables. No, 3 unblockables, and he has a Majin beam as well, which is unblockable. So he has 3 unblockables, which is really, really good. So yeah. So another one, Jiro is good as a level 4 pick, but I think Android 19 is better. But Jiro's good as a level 4 pick as well. And Tapion is a good level 4 pick. Really, really fast. But to me, if you're going to pick a level 4 pick, you might as well put Trunks over Tapion. But if you want to play Tapion, you can play Tapion. So yeah, those are some other level 4 picks that you could use. But now we're going to get to who I think are the best at the level 4 class. Now, if you want to swap in whatever character you want to swap in from what I just showed you, you could do so. But now we're going to talk about the best, to me, at the level 4 class. But before we get started with the video, if you do like the video and you learn something new, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. Support. These videos take a long time for me to do. So just a like will help. Even if you don't even watch the full video, a like would definitely help. Also, if you're new to the channel and you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing. But yeah, let's get started. So to start this video off, we're going to talk about Z version of Trunks. Now, I talked about Super version of Trunks in the level 5 DP class video, and let you know that he's one of the best characters at the level 5 pick. But Z version of Trunks is also one of the best picks at the level 4 spot. And for almost all the same reasons, they have pretty much the same techniques. Super Trunks and Z Trunks. They got the charge unblockable, key blast. When it comes to their abilities, it's a little bit different. But when it comes to attacks, same thing. Oh, actually, this Trunks doesn't have a sidestep gut punch. He has a sidestep key cannon, which is pretty good. It could be pretty good because this move could hit from far out. So sidestep key cannon, it's pretty good. His trip doesn't. Oh, his trip does go. It pretty much seems the same. His key blast is pretty much the same. Retreating key blast, advancing key blast. Pretty much the same as the super version of Trunks. So their rush chains might be different. He has an overhead, the key cannon, a gut punch, and another gut punch at the end. So I don't remember if how they rush chains work. If Super Trunks and Z Trunks have the same rush chains, I'm pretty sure they don't. But when it comes to the main utilities, the charge key blast is really, really good. He has that. He has an after image strike. So I think Super Trunks has solar flare. He has after image strike. So after image strike, obviously you want. No, he don't have after image strike. Sorry, he has after image. You will want the after image strike, but then he will be clear the best one if he had after image strike. But he has the after image and he has power to the very limit, which is really, really good. He has key blast, supers. He has finish buster, and then he has blazing storm. The blazing storm seems to be it doesn't do that much damage. So blazing storm is whatever. Finish buster is also kind of whatever because it's on the slower side. Actually, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick, but you're probably not going to be using it. They both take 3 bars, so you're probably not going to be using it like that. You're probably going to be more straight out fighting with Trunks. So yeah, when it comes to that. But since he has these are 2 things that makes him really, really good, right? He has the power to the very limit, which instantly puts him in sparking. That makes him already good, right? So any type of knockback situation and you have the opportunity to go to power to the very limit, you go to power to the very limit, all right? He also, the reason why Super Trunks made it on the top level 5 DP class is because he has the unblockable super, right? Where this Trunks has the unblockable ultimate. and you wish it was the super. But at the end of the day, if I power up all the way or use power to the very limit to get to my sparking, I got the same attack that Super Trunks has as my ultimate, and this ultimate is really good. It's like almost instant after he shoots it, right? So it's very hard to time. It does really good damage, and that's what mainly has Trunks up here in the top 5. So the after image is really good. The power to the very limit is really good, and his ultimate is really good. And he gets all the same benefits with the unblockable unblockable key charge attack, which is really good. You could do stuff like this. You could power up to the very limit. The opponent's blocking. You could charge that up, right? He's gonna get hit, right? And then you can do something like this. And this is gonna connect. And this is something Super Trunks could do as well. And I recorded the footage and I thought I'd put it into that video, but it wasn't in the video. But Super version of Trunks could do this as well. And this version of Trunks could do it. But obviously it's better with Super Trunks because it's not tied to his ultimate. It's an actual regular super attack. He also has this glitch that Tapion and Super Trunks can do as well, where when you're doing the offensive advantage, so example will be after you do this grab, if your opponent vanishes back, you're able to sway in between the vanish. Now, you're able to sway and grab like you could see here, but you're also able to do more. You could sway and then go into a regular attack. So you could also back sway as well, but I wasn't able to capture the footage because I'm recording on my OBS and I'm looking at my OBS screen as I'm playing the game, making the video. So it's kind of hard to do it on a delay, but you're able to sway in between and go into your rush attacks. Also, when it comes to his damage output, he does the standard damage for a level 4 pick. 56 is pretty much standard. And he has the ability to get stronger via transformation. But him base is a really good pick, and I feel like he's one of the better level 4 picks in the game. I honestly don't know who's the best level 4 DP class pick, but Trunks is definitely in the top 5. So next we're going to talk about Android 19 and the reasons why I feel like he's one of the best level 4 DP class picks in the game. So first off, he starts off with 2 skill counts. So that's really good. A lot of characters start off with 0. Android 19 starts off with 2. And it recharges pretty quickly without it you actually fighting. He also starts off with 4 bars of ki, which is really good. Now, he can't regenerate, he can't charge up himself, but as you fight, everybody gets ki as they fight, but Android 19 gets more ki. He also has the ability to absorb ki attacks, right? If I'm just holding a block button and they throw ki at me, I thought it's perception, but it looks like it's only a block button, right? So if you just hold the block button, I'm gonna absorb ki, which is really good. Going over some other things that make Android 19 good, right? Besides his ability to absorb ki and gain meter from that, is his sidestep attack, triangle attack, or ki blast attack is a gut punch, which is really good. He has a gut punch within his rush attacks, or rush chain. He has a rolling hammer. He has 2 rolling hammers, 2 gut punches. All right, so he gets to your back pretty easy in his combo, so that's really good. And he can stun you with the gut punch. Pretty good ki. Pretty fast charge ki. Jumping ki is pretty okay. It's not the best. He only shoots 3, don't match you. Advancing keys, whatever. His standard ki is pretty good. 1 at a time is pretty good, but when you try to do like the rush ones and stuff like that, the advancing ones, side ones, they're whatever. Charge one's pretty good. But what makes him really good is this grab. If he's able to get this grab off of you, he gets ki, he drains your ki and health, and you can follow up after that grab as well. It knocks him back, and you can do stuff like this. You can do something like this, boom, and then go into. You should have enough ki after that from the drain, unless you was all the way on 0 from your ki to go into your rush attack. And it tests your opponent reactions because they have to vanish out the way of that because they're not going to recover in time. So that's really, really good. Another thing about Android 19, which is good, is this false courage. This false courage attack or skill takes away 2, and it buffs up his defense, and I believe he gets some type of armor. So I'm gonna showcase that. So when this is buff, he gets like, he can't get staggered until like the final hit, but the beginning attacks of whatever he's getting hit by, rush attacks, he just grab right through it, and that's what makes him really, really strong. He can do this, and if your opponent first few attacks they try to hit you out of it, you can interrupt them. Now when it gets to that last attack, if they're able to get the full rush chain off, that last attack is kind of considered as like a strong attack, so you're not going to be able to get it all. But if he's attacking me, I got this on, boom, I could get through whatever he's doing. I do it again, he attacks. As long as he don't get to that final hit, boom, I'm able to fight through all of his attacks. So that's really, really good. So another thing that's really, really good, right, is if the opponent goes into sparking, and I would like for the opponent to go into sparking, boom. And if I grab him, it instantly takes him out of sparking. So if your opponent goes into sparking and you're able to get the grab off of Android 19, it instantly takes him out of sparking. So that's really, really good. So when it comes to Android 19, he takes less damage, he gives more damage, he has a grab that gives him health and ki, and takes the opponent out of sparking instantly, and takes away ki and health from dumb, which is really, really good. Even though at the high level it's kind of hard to get grabs off, everybody breaks grabs at high level, but if you are able to get the grab off, the reward is great. He has a rush attack. His beam, it's pretty good. Takes away 3. He has a skill stock that makes it that he doesn't flinch to light attacks, which is really, really good. And his rush chains is pretty good. He can get back combos. He has a gut punch. So all this stuff is really, really good. The only downside to Android 19 is that he's a little bit on the slower side, but even this move has a lot of range. On this move. So yeah, like I said, the only thing, he's on the slower side, but that could also be a good thing as well, because slower characters is kind of hard. It's harder to Z counter or super counter slower characters because you have to really, really time the input, but the faster characters kind of beat him out when it comes to attacks. So when they in a situation when they both attacking and you got a clash, they both clashing with the regular light attacks, sometimes the faster characters beat him out. So that's the only bad thing about Android 19. But besides that, he's definitely a top 5 level 4 pick. Some people argue that he's top 2, 3. I don't know. Some people may have him as 1 because of the stupidness. He could really survive. He's a survivor basically. Like if you need a character at the level 1 spot at the first character, and you just want him to survive, and you want to win by timeout and last stand, so on and so forth, Android 19 is that character. So next we're going to talk about Bardock. So Bardock is definitely one of the top level 4 characters, and it's probably only because of one reason, but overall he's a good character. He starts off with 3 bars of key of the match. So he has access to his supers out the gate. He has a rush super, which does really, really good damage. I think it does like, on Vegeta, it does like 10k damage, I believe. Boom, or like almost 10k at least. Alright, so that's basically 1 health bar, almost. And then he has a blast super, right blaster. If it would do it, there you go. Which does a pretty much good amount of damage. Now, when it comes to his damage, he does the same damage as Trunks. He does the same damage as Trunks, and I believe he takes the same damage as well. Let's go look. Yeah, so he takes the same damage as Trunks. So that's pretty standard. So now when it comes to his rush attacks, he has his sidestep. Key blast is a rolling hammer. So if you are ready to the side of them or they back, you could be on their back and then get them back to their back. So that's really, really good. So you can do a couple hits, sidestep, boom, get their back to their back and go on from there. So that's pretty, pretty good. Now when it comes to his rush chains, 1 attack into key blast is his key cannon. 2 is the gut punch. 3 is the rolling hammer. And 4 is a overhead. Now it's gonna be kind of hard to get to that overhead unless they back is turned. But for the most part, you probably not gonna be able to get to the overhead a lot. But who knows? Some people, their defense is really trash. They don't know how to Z counter and so on and so forth, and you go most likely get to that overhead. But the rest of the stuff, 2 hits into the gut punch is really, really good. 1 hit to the key cannon is good, and 3 hits into a rolling hammer. Sometimes you won't even get to that as well. But since he has a sidestep rolling hammer, that helps him out a lot. When you charge it, even from this distance, when you charge it, he goes towards them, so that's good. His trip on his own doesn't have the best range, but it is what it is. And lift kick or lift punch got pretty good range. All right, now we're going to talk about his key blast. Key blast is pretty standard, nothing too crazy, pretty standard. Advanced key blast is okay. Retreating key blast is okay. Charge key blast, pretty fast and quick. Jumping key blast, charge 1 is pretty quick as well. His jumping regular key blast is pretty good. And yeah, so his key blast is alright. His key blast game is pretty standard. Nothing too crazy, right? Now we're gonna talk about what makes him good. So when it comes to the skills, his skill stock abilities, he has Saiyan Spirit. And when you do Saiyan Spirit, he gets more damage to his ki and attacks. So as you can see, something like that could do up to 3,000, where before it gets you like 2,800. And now when it comes to the standard attack, it does close to 6,000 damage, where it did 56 before. So that's 300 more damage, which is okay. But you're not going to be really using Saiyan Spirit. The main purpose of Bardock, and what really has him up there as a top tier character in the low 4 DP class, is because overall he's good. He's a good character. He don't have nothing when it comes to the 2 set besides what I'm about to talk about that stands out crazy. He's a good character. If you're good at the game, overall you're gonna do good with him because he just standard good character, right? But this will push him over the edge. Is this Shockwave Rebellion, right? So this Shockwave Rebellion acts like an explosive wave and a instant sparking at the same time, which is crazy. It takes 4 stocks of key to do so, but once you have it and your opponent's on you and you need to get them off of you, boom, you can just do that and then you have instant key. And now you could do the stupidness that everybody does, right? You shoot the key blast or whatever like that. You have instant sparking, and then you try to get into your ultimate. Now his ultimate is not unblockable, but it's pretty fast, and yeah, it does good damage. And yeah, instant sparking. You have a whole bunch of key, and then you have an ultimate, and yeah, and then you're a good character overall. Period. Yeah, he's definitely in the top 4 class, in the top class in the level 4 DP. So next up, we have probably the most broken character to me, I think, at the level 4 DP class is Dr. Willow, right? So he starts off with 1 bar skill stock, and he starts off with 3 bars of key. And as you can see, he recharges his key on his own really quickly compared to other androids. So that's really, really good. And he starts off with 4 bars of health. Really, really good. And he's a giant character. So since he's a giant character, if you're not at a certain DP threshold level, the first few attacks up until you get to like the 4th or 5th hit and your rush attack will not stun him. Alright? I'm gonna showcase this. So Vegeta is set to do his rush attacks, right? And he doesn't get flinched by his rush attacks up until like the 4th or 5th hit. As you see, the first couple hits doesn't flinch until you get to the last hits in the combo. Then it starts to flinch. But the first couple ones don't flinch, as you can see. And since it don't flinch, then I'm able to block in between. So running Dr. Willow at point is one of the better strategies to use, because he starts off with 4 bars of health. He gains meter really quickly. He doesn't get flinched by a lot of characters in the game, and a lot of people like to play with the weakest characters first. And if the weaker character is not a level 7 DP class or above, you won't be able to flinch him. So Dr. Willow's at the advantage. Even if you are really good at the game, if you're facing someone who's almost as strong as you with Dr. Willow in the beginning, if he know what he's doing, he's probably going to outclass you. And since he has an extra health bar to work with, he gains skill stock very easily. He gains meter very easily to use. Yeah, you're most likely going to be at a disadvantage if you're using that Roshi or the Yajirobe or Krillin or Videl or whatever weak character you're using at that low, at your opponent's using at that first spot. Dr. Willow at that as the point character, most like 9 times out of 10 is going to beat them out. So yeah, so him not being able to flinch against weaker characters that's like level 7 or below, correct me if I'm wrong, if level 6 characters could affect him as well, but as you can see, level 5 definitely don't, because this is a level 5 Vegeta. He definitely don't. So I believe it's level 7 and up. Yeah, good luck, right? So just those 2 sets on its own makes him really, really good. And I ain't even talk about the other stuff yet, but just having 4 bars of health, gaining meter very quickly during the match. He gains skill points very quickly during the match, and him not being able to be flinched by characters weaker than level 7 DP at the beginning of their combos is very, very good. Now let's talk about some other stuff. So when it comes to him attacking on the ground, it's kind of weird, because if you press regular square, you're going to be like swinging in the air, and 9 times out of 10 you won't hit them. Now when it comes to the opponent being up in the air, the regular square attacks will hit, but if they're on the ground, it's going to whiff a lot of times. So with Dr. Willow, you got to hold down and start pressing the attack button, and it's going to actually aim downwards to attack the opponent. Now one thing about Dr. Willow is he doesn't have a long combo string like the other characters, so he doesn't do that much damage, right? Like if this connects, I don't even think this could connect. I believe you could block in the middle of it. Yes. So when it comes to these attacks, he only going to be doing like up to 3,000 damage at a time, but it adds up, right? If he's able to interrupt you with these attacks, it's going to add up. He also has pretty good Ki Blast. His standard Ki Blast is all right. It's not the fastest, but it's pretty good. His charge one is better. And if it hits, it does 2,000 damage at a time. So if you got mad health, you could just harass your opponent with this. Boom. Boom. I'm mad Ki, just harass your opponent. So this is good. His rush chains is pretty good as well. So you got one hit into this little move, headbutt move. So this is really good for interruption. Boom. You can do this one hit. Boom. So if you clashing it out with somebody, one hit into this is really, really good. I think he has follow-ups from it as well. Yep, that's a follow-up. He got follow-ups as well. He has 2 hits into his little key or like wave attack, wind wave attack. It's pretty good for interruption as well. That's pretty good for interruptions. And then he has 3 hits into a rolling hammer. All right. So he doesn't do the most damage at all, but it's the little hits that you're going to get during the fight. These hits, a couple of these and stuff like that is going to add up eventually. Another thing he has is he can't super dash to you, but he has an unblockable charge attack, and your opponent cannot block this. Boom. They're going to get hit, and it's going to do like 1,500 damage almost every single time. It's a base of 15. You get hit with a few of these, you're going to get annoyed. And then that's when your opponent is going to start holding up the perception button, and then from there, you could just do this, side step to the back, or whatever from there. You kind of dictate the pace of the match when it comes to using this move, because the opponent, it's unblockable. So your opponent, they don't want to get hit by it, because if they try to move out the way, it still follows them, right? So since they don't want to get hit by it, 9 times out of 10, they're going to hold perception, right? And once you see them start holding perception, then you can do stuff to get to their back, or you can just shoot Ki Blast, and so on and so forth. So now, when it comes to his supers, he has pretty good supers. He has this that does a lot of damage and shoots multiple Ki Blasts at you. So if your opponent vanish out the way at 1, they have to block or vanish the other 2 or 3, which is kind of hard. So a lot of times if they try to vanish and immediately do something after that, they will get hit. So they have that. Then there's also this move that takes away 4. And it does really, really good damage. And it's unblockable. So that's really, really good. So all those tools right there has them up there already. But then he has a couple more that puts him really over the edge. So he has all around, he's able to get 6 skill counts, right? And he has 2 really, really good skill moves. He has a barrier, which could save him if he's getting attacked, which he need when it comes to those type of characters that could actually able to flinch him. And he has a full power charge. Well, full power that gives him instant sparking. And then when you're instant sparking, you just want to harass. Boom. You kind of want to harass the opponent with your headbutt, because it don't take away from your meter. You just want to harass the opponent. Then you could do something this unblockable as well that does damage. Then he has a pretty good ultimate that's pretty quick. It's not unblockable, but it's pretty quick. And then once the opponent lose sight of you, you can just go right back to the headbutt, so on and so forth. So yeah, these are reasons why Dr. Willow is definitely one of the best characters in the level 4 DP spot. It's kind of ridiculous. He kind of needs a nerf in some way, somehow. I don't know how you nerf him, but he is pretty good. So moving on, the next and last character that I have in that top spot for level 4 DP class characters is Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. is really good in this game, actually. He's not bad at all. So he starts off with 3 bars of ki, which is really, really good. So he has access to his Death Impact in the beginning of the match. It's not the fastest move, but it does what it needs to do. So as you can see, does 7,000 damage. Alright, so that's pretty good. He does the most damage. Him and 19 does the most damage at that level 4 DP spot. He has pretty good rush chains. He has his gut, elbow, shoulder, whatever you want to call it. He has a rolling hammer. He has 2 rolling hammers. And it's back to back, so that's pretty good. And he has his key cannon. Alright. So his rush change is pretty good. Side step attacks, he has a rolling hammer, which is always good. And especially when you from this distance, you're kind of far out. Boom. You could charge it up. It's pretty good. Trip is alright. Pretty good range on a trip. Let's see. If you charge it, it will hit from downtown. Key blast is pretty good. Quick. He don't shoot a lot at a time. Oh, let me charge up. They pretty alright. Nothing crazy. His advancing one is pretty good. His advancing one is pretty good. His retreating one is pretty good. Jumping ones is pretty good. His charge one's quick. And that's a good one. The one on the ground is really good because you could follow behind it. So that's really good. When it comes to grabs, he has one of the longer animation grabs. I don't know the exact property of the move. I think if you hold it completely, maybe it's untechable or gain armor. I'm not too sure. I think it's untechable if you hold completely. I'm not too sure. So when it comes to taking damage, he takes less damage than others. So it's the same as Android 16 when it comes to that. Same thing as Android 16 when it comes to that. So he has a pretty solid moveset, right? What takes him over the edge is the damage, but then he has a couple other things that takes him over the edge as well. So he has this paralyzed beam, and if you get hit by that, he gets whatever he wants from there. And it has armor on it, which is really good. You can super dash and then do this to catch your opponent off guard if they want to do a perception and so on and so forth. So that's pretty good. So when the Mako star is active, right, it takes away 3. You get basically buffs to almost everything. You get attack buff, you do more damage. So now he's doing about 400 more damage. He takes less damage. He gets more ki, so on and so forth. So those are pretty good things with the Mako star. It's nothing too crazy, but it's pretty good. He has a unblockable rush attack. You gotta be up close, really, to do it. But you're gonna be up close and personal with Garlic Jr. almost all the time. As you can see from here, this will not hit. You gotta be really close. But if you from up here, boom, the opponent's guarding, they're going to get hit. And it does about 8,000 damage, which is really good. He also have an unblockable ultimate. That does really good damage. So with the 2 unblockables that he has, the highest damage in the game, really, well, highest damage at the level 4 DP class, really good rush attacks, takes less damage. He's a pretty good character. He's really good. Now, if you want to swap him out and put in someone else, like what I spoke about earlier, like Team Gohan and so on and so forth, I understand. But if you were talking about what the character does at the level 4 DP position itself, I think he's up there for being one of the top characters. Now, if you want to throw in Jiro in there and so on and so forth, you could do that as well. But I'm going to give it to Garlic Jr. Yeah, folks, that's pretty much the end of the road of this video. This has been a Dragon Ball Sparking level 4 DP class top 5 tier list video. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. It takes a lot, like I said earlier, it takes a lot of time and effort to do these videos. So if you enjoyed the video, please support. Also, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, consider subscribing, because I'm gonna have a lot of content for you to enjoy. But like I said, these are my picks for the level 4 DP class. I didn't want to pick it off of potential. I wanted to pick it off of what the characters could actually do at that level 4 DP class spot. If I just picked it straight off potential, then Team Gohan would be in there, or Adult Gohan would be in there, or maybe even Oob would be in there. But since I'm picking exactly what the character could do at the level 4 spot, these are the choices I went with. And like I said, if you don't agree with certain choices and you want to put Team Gohan there and so on and so forth, you could do so. But like I said, I made this tier list based off of what the characters could do at that level 4 spot with the utilities that they have, not the utilities that they could potentially get. So yeah. But besides all of that, hope all of you have a nice day. God bless. Peace.